Hi everyone. Okay, let's start adding some text. We put in some placeholder content. Let's have a look at putting in some actual live text and images to fill this layout. So if I look, here's my front cover, and you can see here in the pages how it's all kind of configured and how I'm going to lay this out now. And I highly encourage you to sit down and kind of mock up what you want to do with your 8 pages. It's not a lot. 8 pages is pretty easy to kind of work your positioning. You can always massage it once you get into the pages, but this is a really great way to be working. And we can start with adding in images. And so I'm going to put myself on my image layer here, and let me just zoom out here first so I'm getting a full page. And Command or Control D to do my place. I'm going to navigate to my text content. And here's my links. All right, so I'm going to have a quick look at this by icons, and then I can see which pictures I want to start with. So you can load them all in and click them through. I'm going to start actually with my first image, and then I'm going to drop in my next image. I'm not sure if this is actually the order that it will load in, so we're just going to drop them in, and I'm going to open them, and they'll take a minute. And you can see that I have 8 loaded onto my cursor. It's got a little 8 on there, so I'm going to zoom that back out here, and now I'm on my cover. Open up your images layer, and if you hold your command key down, right, you can select your various boxes. So I want that box. I'm going to go ahead, and this isn't my image that I want. I can see it on the cursor. I'm just going to use my arrow and flow through them until I get the image that I want to place here, which is this image. And I'm going to pull that right out to the bleed. There we go. And I'm going to scroll down. This is the ad that I'm going to do for Mountain Equipment Co-op. Here's the image. Again, I'm just going to hold my command key, select that container, and click that in. Now that you can see straight away that I've got some issues going on. One of the things we should have done was create some object styles right away, and then when the object's placed in, but we'll easily fix that in a second here. Again, my next page, this is holding my command to select that box, drop that in. And not sure that that went in there. There we go. And this is not the one. This is the one here. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, grab that one in. And again, they're just filling the box here, right? So I am using my arrow to navigate through these, commanding click. And this one's a little bit large. And I'll come back to that one because it is going to cause me some grief. Let's come back to that one. And this one, it's going to delete that. There we go. And this is the back panel. And I have to go back and get one more. And that is going to be this one. There we go. All right, so they're not fitting very well, right? We know how to fix that by just doing a fit to screen. So let's do a couple things here. Let's open up our styles and go into object styles. Now, something that I didn't mention in my last video was that I'm working in a modified typography interface. So I took the typography preset, and if I show you quickly here, and I'll reset it. So here's the default for typography, and then I went in and I added a couple more. So a couple info palette, I added that. That's important because it gives me character counts and word counts and things like that. Really important. I also drop in here my links because I want to be able to manage the links and content that I'm dropping into this. I also add in, under styles, my object styles, because my paragraph styles and my character styles are an automatic, but for some reason they don't include object styles. So I drop that in there as well. I do like my properties panel. My problem with properties is just, it's so big. And if you're working on a laptop, it really chews up your real estate. So I drop it in at the top and I still have it as an option. But what I like about typography, it now gives me this control panel across the top. It's not unlike what you're working with your properties. You know, it's got the same content that you can see with our character styles, our paragraph styles, our object styles. So with that said, that's how I create. And then once I've modified it, I go ahead and rename it. So give it a name of new workspace. I'm not going to do that because you can see I've done many demos here that I've got to tidy up, but just give it a new name. And then that'll be really super handy for you. Just make sure everything is parked and closed. And then giving that new name will give you the ability to reset. So editorial. And then when you start opening up your layers and you're pulling things apart and you're using stuff, all you need to do is simply do a reset to park everything. And that's just a super nice way. Okay, so let's create an object style. And again, this should have been done in our early set here. All right, so let's create an object style here now that will fit the content of frame. Now remember, I'm going to hold my Option or Alt key when I click on the plus symbol, and that will bring up my new object style dialog, and I'm going to give it picture frame. Now, if you want to put a stroke on your pictures, if you want to have a drop shadow, if you want to have something in particular applied to your piece, go ahead and do that. The only thing I'm really focused on here is my frame setting. Now, if you've applied a stroke, if you have something on your picture box, when you create this, like a paragraph style, it will automatically apply this in the attributes of this object style. So under my fitting content, I want to create an auto fit, and I'm going to fill my frame proportionally. And I want to make sure that my crop amount is set to 0 because I don't want it to crop it in any way. And I'll say okay. And I want to apply that to my picture box. And now every picture box, I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the box. Now, I know this one was not done correctly, so I'm going to come back and look at that. But you can see as I go through and just apply that picture box, it will apply that setting for me. And again, so this is if you wanted to apply, there we go. And that's not actually the right picture on the back of that box either. So let's go ahead and change that up with the right picture. And that is the Algonquin picture. There we go. And again, I will go ahead. Now I'm in override because you can see that it has an override. Hold my Option or Alt. Click in the gray area. Don't click on the word. Don't click anywhere else. Right in the gray area that's blank, click, and that will reset your overset. And now I have my pictures in place. Super easy, right? This guy needs to get fixed, so I'm going to get rid of him, select that, and this is super easy. I just need to go ahead and grab that image and apply the frame. This one, I want to play around. You can see the overset here. It's this little chair that I want for my composition. If I turn off my guides, because they're super busy, I can see a little bit better my positioning, my content, and now I've got some images in place. Lovely. Great way to work with your placing images quickly in a layout. I have one more here. Let me go ahead and grab that. That was the cover of, and again, here just with it open, let's open up our object style, apply that picture frame, bingo, done. So now let's go ahead and place some text in the next video.